Can you hear me, everybody? Can you all hear me there? Just give me some sort of notification. Super Heinz and Toast, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Sound issue there. Again, appreciate you all taking the time out. Now I can hear you. SilverGiveaways, that's great. Thanks, bud. Right, so pretty much we're looking at the silver chart. Silver's previous high here was, and well, I would say previous high, but the start of the COVID-19 effect on the markets. We're looking at about the 9th of March. We had a decline of quite a substantial lot. Low, we had about a 32% decline. That's just on that particular day. It was down about $5. However, we've come back some, and we're looking at around the 15% down from that average. We're encountering a lot of resistance at the moment, hence why we've been unable to get any higher than this. So what I'm looking at is this wedge. I've put in the support areas. You can clearly see this trend line. So what we're doing, what we're looking for support is where we're seeing a bounce, which is exactly what we're seeing here. We're seeing it push down, and then the buyers come back in, and hence why these wicks are there for. What does that mean in short, right? We've had an excellent rally here, and if you'd noticed the community post there, you would have noted that I'd stated the rally was over, question mark, exclamation, stating that the rally, it looked like it was over because we started to see a bit of a decline. And then since then, we've sort of been trading sideways. So you can sort of see this upward, downward trajectory. We've been pretty much supported by this exponential moving average here, with the exception of Friday, where we've actually broken down from it, which could be, or we're just above it. We just finished, check that out. We just finished just above that moving average, which is a great sign, personally. So that's great. At least we're holding that area there. What that means is, it means on Monday we're going to know which direction we're going to be headed here. Now, moving to the MACD wave, we're looking at our volumes here. Now, there's a couple of things I've noticed previously. Was it just me? SilverGiveaways is saying, was it just me? Every time that the MAC 1226 has crossed, we've seen a change in volume. So we can see here, that was our latest cross. We went from a green volume, which is a buying volume, to a selling volume. So if we trace it back, every time we've crossed, we've changed. So there's another one there. We've gone out from selling to buying, and then from buying to selling. Again, a crossover here from buying to selling. Again there, across, so we were selling, and then when that crossed, we were straight into a buying momentum. This could give us a indicator of things, particularly those that are looking at seeing whether the market's going to go down, whether the price of either silver, gold is going to drop, whether it's going to go down. That's what this will give us an idea on, and obviously volume as well. Just thought I'd share that with you there. Mudswat says, whoa, the chart man, aka SilverGiveaways79. How you doing? It's good to see you. Sorry, I'm streaming on Saturday. I probably should have streamed yesterday, so there's probably not a lot of people out there interested in looking at this, and mainly during the weekdays. But I appreciate you both here. SilverGiveaways, Mudswat, Heinz on Toast. I won't be streaming long. You're probably looking at about half an hour. Unfortunately, the first 6 minutes there was no sound. So I'll make a note there, the first 6 minutes, so just make that there's no sound, but I've repeated everything. Okay, now that we've ended just above this moving average, doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna move up. What we could see is a retest. However, looking at where this is crossed, and we've gone from buying to selling. It looks like we might have some more selling on Monday initially before we get an initial cross and go back into buying mode. So that's probably what's going to happen here. Probably for the next 12 hours on Monday. That's pretty much what we're going to see. Is a bit of confluence. So we'll see a bit of upward down movement, and then eventually when that crosses over, we should see some good buying. So I would be pretty optimistic to see an upward movement once we hit this area of support. We could see a retest of that 1470 on Monday. If it isn't, then more than likely we'll be retesting lower. But yeah, silver from March 9th is still down 15%. I'm going to take a look at gold. The gold chart has a lot more work to it. If we pull this back somewhat, and we might be able to bring this down. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Bring that in just a tad. There we go. What we can see there is there's our support line. So support kicked in, buying, selling, touched, straight back up again. So that's a good area. It's a good indication of our support zone. The bottom around 1450. Look at where gold has ended up over here. We're currently from March 9th selling. We're only 2.5% down, which is about $42. So for me, that is fantastic. And it gives us a good indicator of the security that we can expect out of gold. And anyone who bought gold and is, I think they'd be very happy with that, considering all the other metals, whether it's platinum or silver, in relation to it, are still down double digits, whereas gold is only down 2.5%. So I'm over the moon with that. I think that's a great indicator. I think a lot of people there, like Silver Stanger, we're quite happy. Yankee Stackins dropped in. Hey man, how you doing? Thanks for the info. Have we reached silver's bottom in your opinion? I'm pretty sure 1161 at the minute. Looking at where the chart was, Yankee, I'd be quite happy that 1160 is the bottom at the moment. Looking at the way the charts are forming there, I'll have to go back into it, but I don't think we're gonna go that low personally. It was almost like the shock of everything that happened from March 9th really pushed everything down, created that fear where people just wanted to get their cash out. So we've had that now, and we've got that out of our system. We've moved a bit up. Silver's still down though 15% from March 9th before we started to sell off. But it's Monday's going to be a big day because that's going to be the make or break, I think, looking at the way the charts are performing. We did finish above our exponential moving average for silver. However, if our MAC averages, the 1226s, we've just crossed over, so we've just got into some selling modes. So we could see that that fluctuates a bit, but you're more than welcome to check that again. Fear now reigns since liquidity has been poured. Oddly enough, looking at the markets, Yankee, everything's been fairly stagnant. I mean, if you think about that news, where they announced that $2.2 trillion printing of money, if you can put it that way, that the old quantitative easing, obviously for those that are used to that term, it literally didn't really filter into anything. A lot of people expected Bitcoin to react off it. There was a lot of news out there, Bitcoin, this is it, and nothing happened. No one bought any Bitcoin, at least to my knowledge. I wouldn't say nobody, but the large players, nobody bought a large percentage or a large amount. So I think there's still a lot of hesitance in regards to seeing where the market's going to end up. Hence why no money or no big money went into the precious metals market from a silver or gold perspective. Gold came back nicely, which I think everyone's going to appreciate. Silver is up, but still down 15%. Platinum is down and it's come back up, but it's about 16% down. So gold is definitely the big one, the big shine out of all the precious metals. It's certainly very resilient, and it's held its own, which is very impressive. Yankee says, sorry, Silver Stanger says the first 3 ounces of gold I bought were less than $1,300 an ounce. Great stuff there, Silver Stanger. Yankee stacking. Here's good news for gold. I bet Yankee is loving the gold price. Him and his cannon. Yeah. Physical demand is where you're seeing fear. Yankee stacking, not Silver Stanger. Lol, I'm working on my Yankee musket. I'm reaching high and low for a 1/4 ounce maple leafs. Very nice. Scrapping, holding, tinkering. Just out of interest there, Yankee, did you buy any silver while, I mean, look, premiums have been ridiculous. But, I mean, was there any opportunity for you to buy any silver while you had the chance? Even though the premiums were quite high? Yankee Stacking says, even working my LCS dealer from his home since he's not considered an essential business. How bogus is that? Yeah, you could argue that point, Yankee, and say, well, it's pretty essential at the moment. Nope, I had the chance, but decided to focus on gold. Good man, that's exactly what I would have done. Personally, I think the way I look at it is if you're going to pay $8 or $9 per ounce over spot price for 1 ounce of silver, then you're better off paying a similar premium for gold, whether that means buying a, if someone wants to go, instead of just buying a few maple leafs or a few American silver eagles, if you're going to pay that sort of high premium, then you're better off getting a small 20th an ounce or even a 10th ounce. I know Yankee would probably say rather go for 10 ounce, but not everybody, there might be the occasional person out there that could just wanted to go and buy 3 ounces or 4 ounces of silver, and it ended up costing them $80 or something like that, whereas they could have maybe got a 20th of an ounce, at least for a premium lower than what silver premium was during that time. So, and at least then they've got some gold. That's the way I'd put it. Archaeology Mike 007, it's my 19th birthday, so congratulations there, Archaeology Mike 007. Good to see you. Scrapping Hoarding Tinkering Fund, good to see you as well, my friend. Happy birthday, there we go. I keep waiting for my income tax so I can buy more gold. It's taking forever. Well, I think everyone's supposed to be getting some sort of fund there in America, I believe. Yankee Stacking says, glad I got the monster box done in time. He says premiums were not as crazy with gold, and that was my point as well there, Yankee, is there was such a huge demand, and I guess probably because of the price, that it's allowing you the populace there to go in and buy some metal, and all of a sudden now you're paying $20. It's more accessible than buying a 1/4 of an ounce. For instance, having a few $100, someone might have a smaller amount of dollars, and yes, they might want to buy some silver, but then at least if the premiums are that high, then you're better off focusing on a smaller ounce of gold in comparison to it and pay less premium. Yankee Stacking says, there we go, $40 over for an ounce. Fantastic. I like the way that sounds. Archaeology Mikey 007 says, I just won at 1853 with Ray's Michael Kittle rare coin stream. Seeded dime. That's great. That's congratulations there, Archaeology. Yeah, Mudswat says, yeah, metal. And I know there's been some talk out there as well, people's perception of their, should there be 2 prices for silver? Personally, I think that's hogwash. If I can use that word. There should only be one price for there should only be one spot price, whether that's a spot price with obviously with paper backed by physical silver. I think would probably be a far better way to do it. Also, the price is based on minted coins or bars rather than just what the miners can sell it for, personally, because it costs us to buy silver or gold into coins. That's the only way we can do it from a population perspective. When we're going into the shops, that we're buying it in bars or we're buying it in coins, it costs money to make it a mintage. into actual coinage. So just bear with me 1 second. So spot price should basically be the price available to the public. I think that's one way to put it. Let's have a look. People, there we go. Sorry, I've got to put some of these up. People hating an LCS dealers over free market capitalism and loving the full embrace of socialism and even communism taking off in the USA. Jeez. That's interesting. Here we go. We got Silver Stanger here with a comment. He said, I'd love to see paper and physical metal separate for good. I don't think that'll happen. It never will. The way the prices have been, there's always been one price since the metal has been paired with gold. So a biometallic standard is probably the correct term. Fed is now gobbling up so much debt, it's now owning the means of production. Says communism. That's interesting. Says Yankee stacking. Archaeology Mike A007 says, I've been finding errors every week on coins, and yesterday I found a 1953 S D nickel error. That's great. I like the Roman coin you got there as well. There we go. Yankee, how bad off do you think we are? Is there a solution to the debt crisis? Probably not. So, you know, just go with the system that is still in place, and that's probably the way they're looking at it. Let's make sure there we go. Mudswat there just saying congratulations to Archaeology Mike 007 for his birthday. Right, so gold. Again, we've got some action. We'll probably know by the latest on Tuesday which way we're going. However, there's a fair amount of good news out there which will help prop up and support gold. However, we're moving into a bit of selling territory at the moment. I was just saying there in relation to this, the MACD wave, one thing I've spotted, particularly the 12 and 26, is whenever we've crossed, there's always been a change in direction of selling to buying. So let's have a look at this first cross here. And we went from an initial selling phase, just slightly, there was a little blip there, to buying to selling. And if we go all the way down here, that's where we crossed. Immediately we changed from a selling to buying, and if we go here, the buying ended followed by the selling. That's the MAC 1226. Same thing there. We crossed over these two lines, crossed, and we immediately went from sold to buying, and likewise. So for me, I'm going to be using that more often because that's a clear way. I'm not saying clear. I mean, at the moment, we're just waiting for this cross, and then we should go into a full buying cycle. Hopefully, it'll be like that because that means we're going to see major moves to the upside. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, gold, $1,626 an ounce. That's great. There's a fair amount of potential up there to retest $1,700. We've got an area of resistance we've got to get through first at 1650. And then we've got other areas here as well. Don't forget, we are in an area of resistance currently, as we can see around here. It's support on the way down, and it's resistance on the way up. So we're on the way up. So effectively, that area there is not support; it is resistance. So we need to break through that. So hopefully, once the selling action has petered off and we go into buying mode, we could see it fall down slightly to around 1600, probably at its most due to the support line. However, looking here, it's been pretty much quiet. As I was saying there to Yankee Stacking, the markets just didn't know what to do, whether they're going to inject money into it or not. But it's pretty much, I mean, it's still looking good from an upward trajectory. We could see a retest here at the 1650 level, currently at 1626. That'll be awesome for gold if we're able to do that. Otherwise, we're going to be retesting that $1,600 dollar mark on Monday. So we'll have to see what happens. Tuesday at the latest, we'll have an idea if it's going to break up or whether it's going to break down. That's gold priced at 1626. Let's check here. Right. There we go. That was my 2 cents worth. People hating on LCS dealers over free market capitalism, loving the embrace. Sorry, that's you've already come across that one. Yankee State says, of course, there's loans. Yeah, they'll have as much of a chance to repayment as they did unraveling their balance sheets. Do you think that they will stop the flow of cash and move to a more digital system, as in removing cash from circulation and using tapping of cards or payment methods through cards? Do you think that will eventually come through? Please, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments, please. Online dealers that bought silver and gold before the silver price drop, they don't want to lose money on silver and gold they bought. The problem there is I think dealers would have to dollar cost average, otherwise they've got those, those good days and bad days. Obviously, if they've got their safe in the back room where they've probably got everything listed, they'll probably say these coins were bought at, I'm sure they would have to sort of list everything of exactly how much it was bought at in order to know how much they could sell it at. Because if they bought silver before we had that dump, and let's say they paid $17 an ounce for it, all of a sudden they're about 12. Now they still need to make money. So obviously they're going to put the premiums up, or they're going to put that away for the rainy day and bring out the stuff that they bought years ago and try and sell it. I don't know. Let me know your opinion on that. Dollar, the next monopoly money. Silver Stanger says, toast, we may be able to inflate this bubble more, send markets higher, and spread currency around like intoxicated sailors. Apologies to drunk sailors, but remember the value of currency will be a toast. Understood, Yankee, as well. I appreciate your wisdom. And look, Yankee, as much as the US dollar's currently the reserve currency, and it's unlikely to change. I hear what you mean, though. Yes, it's just could potentially weaken, but I think its saving grace is it is tied to something, and it is the reserve currency of the world. I think that will keep it viable at the moment. Understood, Yankee. As always, I appreciate your wisdom. Yankee State says, our economic fate and that of our children has been sealed. We cannot convince the world that it will be undone like 2009. We will lose reserve currency status very soon. There we are. I just mentioned it, and frankly, we should. So basically, it's a bit of a wake-up call then, Yankee. The Fed has given the green light to China, etc., to sell their treasuries. Fed will be buying everything with no limits. The confidence is over, and the dollar has started its collapse. Archaeology, Mikey 007. That's why silver premium is high. Well, I think it's primarily because the silver spot price is much lower at the moment. Yes, Mikey, they know spot is going way up. They tried to pass digital dollar in the last stimulus package. There you go. That's Yankee saying, I know, right? Silver Stanger. Right, we're going to move on to platinum. Right, there we go. That's the look at platinum. I must say, in quite a good area, because more than likely we're going to see what's going to happen on Monday in relation to it. We're either going to break down or break up. You'll see there's multiple lines here, which I'll go over shortly. That was our bottom there, $556 for an ounce of platinum, which I thought was an absolute bargain. That's if you could actually find an ounce of platinum for that price. I had a look online, and the cheapest literally platinum that I could find online was about double that. And I just thought, I mean, that's just ridiculous. As much as I'm keen to get platinum, but I'm just not prepared to pay that sort of premium, not on your life. Right, so platinum from its dump there is currently down 16.24%. 881 was the last price that we had, and it went all the way down 37% initially, and it's come back now to about 16%, about $143 off. Right, so again, there's our waves, there's our crossover. So we're currently moving to some selling at the moment. How much selling? Also, these are not too heavily spaced out, so we could see a crossover relatively soon, which might mean that we could see a higher retest for platinum on Monday, which would be great. Monday's the day, and this is on the 4 hour. Just you'll notice that I've got so each candle is 4 hours of the day. We're looking pretty good. We're sitting up above this moving average. This is the 9-day moving average. If I take that away, you'll see it. The top left, it says $737 is the average for the last 9 days, and we're currently at 741. We've had some strong buying, obviously excellent buying potential if you're looking at paper. Physical, on the other hand, just really expensive. But paper, you could get a spot there for 556 on paper. You'll see these, that's a support line, this one here. So that's from I'm seeing that support line, which puts us, if it does follow that line, it could be up to $836 there by the 2nd of April. There's our resistance line, which basically means that's where we hit our maximum before adjusting down. And you can see we've had some wicks, these lines here, pushing up. So I'm putting that line there. That's where I think it is. We have a potential wedge forming here as well. Monday, we'll definitely know which way it's moving. Be great to see it move up to the upside and retest these high levels. $756. If we break above that, then our higher mark there is about 780. But it certainly looks like it's heading that way. It's looking very good. We're just touching it. We're touching it. It just depends on if the market's ready to see that sort of momentum. Scrapping, hoarding, tinkering fun says, when you have a cannon, it's easy to cheer on the collapse of the economy. I don't think anyone really wants a collapse. I agree with you on that one. Time to go back to local currencies and buying local. Says Mike Miller, welcome. How you doing, Mike? Fiat, I should have said. Did you know about 2021 Peace Dollars and Morgan Dollars Act? Trying to get that act passed, and it will a coin, not a commemorative. Sorry, what's this now? Did you know about the 2021 Peace and Morgan Dollar Act? The US is trying to get the act passed. Didn't know about that. That's interesting. Thank you, Archaeology. Mike? Crypto is now volatile, but in a bad way. Absolutely, my friend. And we're going to look at Bitcoin next. Silver Stanger, did you know in the US we are in an ammo shortage as well? There must be loads of people buying that at the moment. I didn't know that, though, Silver Stanger, but thanks for bringing that to our attention. Starbuck JeffNcoins, good to see you. I do not want to collapse. Don't mistake predictions for desire. That's quite funny. Hello, Starbuck JeffNcoins. Good to see you. Right, platinum. This is one of my top picks for after all of this has blown over. The potential growth for platinum and silver at the moment, well, in the near future, considering how low it's gone. Just out of interest for those that don't know, this low here of 556 was last seen in 2002. 2002 was the last time platinum was that low. For me, it can't get any bullish than that. When it hits a low of 17 years ago, 18 years ago, for me, that just says it all. I think that's going to be a top metal moving into the second half of this year. Likewise with silver as well. Rock bottom prices down here. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to put this on the monthly, and we're going to see how low we are been. Right, so there's our low there. 2009 was the last time it was in that area. 2009, so that was 11 years ago. It was 11 years ago that silver was $11.51. Very interesting indeed. And look at this, just going back even more, 2003, look at that, $4.46. We had a low there of $4 an ounce. Imagine what the premiums were like in 2001. That would be interesting. Right, let's move back into the 4-hour charts. Right, so we're currently being forced into this little wedge pattern here, which is going to be tight. So we're going to get a lot of pressure in here. We're currently moving into a selling cycle until we cross over again. It'll go to a green cycle. So what I suspect is we could most likely retest these lower levels, maybe get down to about 1424, push back up, and either slowly work up here and hopefully, with the news that we've heard there, break out of this position. It just depends on what the market wants to do, because I think that's everyone's question is which way is the market moving, but there hasn't been a lot of activity at the moment. So it's either they're waiting for something. Generally, when the volume has been low, something big's more than likely going to happen, whether that's a break to the upside or a break to the downside. I'd like to think it would be a break to the upside, or at least stay in this area here and retest and get just above there, even if it's just breaks above this resistance level and we're around this level. I'd be very happy with that. We'll have to see how that plans out, but there you go. I'll be getting the James Bond silver round, says Archaeology Mike. Wow, okay, that's pretty serious, man. Are you saying platinum might be a good buy? Oh, I definitely think it's a good buy. Starbuck JeffNcoins. The problem is that we have at the moment is the premiums are way too high. That's the only issue currently, is trying to get platinum at a acceptable level. Jimmy Lacari says, okay, thank you, Starbuck JeffNcoins. Right, so there's platinum for you, $741 an ounce, currently $7.25 up. It'd be great to see it retest these upper levels, so let's see what happens. We're going to finish off with Bitcoin here, so let's move on to the Bitcoin charts. A lot of interesting activity today and a bit of a bearish move today. We're going to be taking a good look. We've got our MAC waves currently in place here. Let's look at the volume here. Right, so we had our crossover. We started to go into some selling modes and we're moving down. That could intensify selling there. There was our initial cross there. 21st of March, went into a small bit of selling. Crossover again on the 23rd. Into a small area of buying. The volume pretty much slowed down. You can see it here. Our volume has been massive in relation to these weeks here. And then it just went quiet. Right. Bitcoin, $6,224. We're currently down 22% off its March 9th price. So when we look at the March 9th, currently gold is beating Bitcoin from a regain percentage. So gold is only down 2.5% from its March 9th price. We then got silver 15.5% down. And then we got platinum at 16%, 16.2% down. So Bitcoin struggling a bit there, currently in relation to keeping its price up. It's had a pretty much dreadful time. There hasn't been a lot of activity. There's just been some sideways movement here. You can see here, it looked like we were starting to get somewhere, and then we broke down, and we've just been over it. We've just been in a very tight range. And then yesterday, we broke down, and we started to retest this support line here at 5. What was that? The support line there at 6.1. We did break down slightly below that. The buying, again, the buying was small, though. Look at these candles. Pressure up and then immediately sell off back down, and we've gone all the way down here to about 6,056 at the moment. This candle's still activated for the next or still active for the next 11 minutes. Let's have a look. Archaeology Mike, my oldest coin in my collection is Caesar Hadrian's silver coin. My family is getting me 2 wheat cent rolls and 2 Indian head cent rolls and 1 brilliant uncirculated mixed wheat cent roll. Very cool. And Fiji Fanta bottle cap. Oh yeah, I've seen them. Very nice. I've seen the Coca-Cola versions of those, but come in a nice box too. Right, so Bitcoin price 6223. I'm not buying any Bitcoin. I'm actually more than likely not buying any metal either until the prices come into line, or try and have an idea of where you want to, be happy with the price that you are happy with. So, for instance, give yourself a target. If you think Bitcoin's a good buy at 5,000, be happy with buying at 5,000. I think at the moment a good buy would be between 4,000 and 5,000 for Bitcoin at the moment, depending on market trends. But I think that's going to be my area of buying. Currently, I'm looking at this area here to this area down here. That's what I'd like to try and get in. Now, again, we're not that far. To me, it seems more realistic to see a downward price momentum rather than upward price momentum with the current state of world affairs currently at the moment. I think that's probably going to make a lot of sense. We've broken through this support line and we've tried to get back up. We've been rejected. The price has been pushed down and it looks like we're going to see resistance here. We'll know what the next candle is. We could see further movement down. What are we going to retest to? 6,000. It could be 5.8, I think is most likely a good area. Around $5,800 per Bitcoin. If that falls, then we're moving down to about 5.5, 5.4, 5,100 in that sort of area there. Once we're in this little box over here, and I'll then consider getting in. There was the low, 3,900. Missed opportunity there. But there you have it. Bitcoin, 6,226. We're down $146 currently. Volume is fairly low. We can even see it here, even the selling volume. We'll have to wait and see what the next candle happens, but there's our big buying candle, and that is primarily because of this low price here that the buyers really came in and ramped that price up. If you look, we were at 3,900 and it pushed us all the way up to 6,900, so we came back $3,000. And that was literally, what was that, the 13th of March it was a week. 1 week. So if anyone bought a one Bitcoin between there and there, would have made $3,000. Simple as that. Yankee Stack and Bitcoin holders should be very concerned about the Fed digital currency. Not a positive sign for Bitcoin altcoins. The problem there, Yankee, with the digital currency is the dollar will always be worth $1. So whether it's a digital dollar, it'll be backed by physical, not physical, but the currency itself. So even if they bring out a digital, it's going to basically be what's the word I'm looking for? A pegged digital currency. The benefit of Bitcoin is it fluctuates, so it can go up and it can go down. Whereas if it's a pegged digital currency, it's only going to be worth $1. There might be some give or take, maybe 10% either way. So much for only 30 minutes. I know I'm almost done. Vertical Stacker, man, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Most of the Fiji Fanta bottle caps coins are already graded. I'm getting a proof PF70. Very nice indeed. Are you into any cryptos, Yankee? Highly unlikely. So I very much doubt Yankee is, but he's more into physical, man. Get into physical. Says the high vehicle stacker. I literally just printed off a USPS label. I've been corner hunting, pulling the copper pennies out. It's cheaper than buying bullion. I'm adding to the stack. Cool. Lots of words says, hey, I'm in the USA. I just wanted to buy. I'm wanting to buy a gold buffalo from JM Bullion right now, but it's almost 1900. Should I buy one or wait? Depends on lots of words. It depends on what are you looking for? You're looking for bullion, or you're looking for that $1,900 is a significant premium. Is that a proof coin? Does it come in a box? Are you just looking for gold value? Let me know. Lots of words says they're selling out fast, so it sounds like it's probably a proof or collector's piece. You have a point. I'm saying I'm more concerned for gold-backed government crypto. Yeah, they tried that and it didn't work. It was a complete failure. Yankee stack, and they brought out, what was it? It was Bitcoin's version. It was called what was it? Gold, Bitcoin Gold. Complete failure. Didn't work. No, not on your life. Yep. Archaeology Mikey 007, there's the law where you can not melt low value coins and sell them for a profit. If you're caught, you could face, well, effectively you're melting legal tender coinage. So I'm not surprised. It's a BU coin. Well, that sounds ridiculous. I think Yankee will probably back me up on that. Just check there, loss of words. He's looking at a gold buffalo there, and they're selling for about $1,900 a piece. So the premium there alone is around, what's that, $300? Does that make sense to you at all, Yankee? Maybe you can just give him some advice there. Loss for words. He says it's a brilliant uncirculated coin. Are you looking for something pretty unique there, loss for words? Because otherwise there's plenty of other options. If you're looking for just an ounce of gold, you can shop around and there's plenty of options there for you. I mean, if I was in your position and if I was looking for gold, I want to try and get as close to spot price as I possibly could. Vertical stacker, looking forward to it, Yankee. Thank you again. I think I'll have many surprises in my PO box upon my return home. Very cool. Russia does have a gold-backed crypto. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, if I haven't heard about it, Yankee, then most likely it isn't working. When we lose reserve currency status, that's when you'll see it take off. No, I agree. And obviously for China and Russia, they want to move away from a reliance on US dollars. They want to move more into either their own or moving to gold. It'd be interesting to see how that works out. And premium. Yankee says, I missed the questions. Limey, sorry, no problem. I was just saying, lots of words. He's looking at, there's a gold buffalo BU that's selling for $1,900. Now he's saying there, should he buy it? I'll bring that comments up quick. There it is. Hey, I'm in the USA. Wanted to buy a gold buffalo from JM Bullion right now. It's almost $1,900. Should I buy one or wait? Archaeology Mikey 007 says, I bought a Republica de San Marino 1,000 lira from 1979 silver coin in BU condition for $20. Sounds interesting, Archaeology Mike. What was the weight in that? Do you measure weight, or was it a good sized coin? 1979 sounds good. Countries did make gold coins for circulation, yes, until 1933. A lot of them, mostly in the 1930s, was their last issue of gold coinage. However, I know Mexico has issued some pesos, some gold pesos into the 40s. David Carlisle, is Dave here? Man, how you doing, David? Is Dave here? I'm not sure which Dave you're looking for. I'm sure there's loads of Daves. It's $1,850, says Lost for Words. Ouch, that's pricey. But if it's a buffalo, if you're trying to time it, I might wait. But if you're buying to hold, go for it. I personally like a much lower premium. My gold maples are much lower. There it is. And that would, in my opinion as well, I would probably look at Canadian maple leaves. I think are exceptionally good buy. Nice, a really good quality piece. Really good value as well. It's a very nice looking piece. And I think you can still get the 40th anniversary edition as well, which I think the premiums on them aren't bad. Big footy on it with the maple leaf around it. Why can't I donate to your channel? It's lost for words. Not really sure. Oh, you mean super chats? I don't do super chats, lots of words. But thank you, man. Thanks very much. Mudswat says, I got 4 ASCs just before the crash, $20 a piece. There you go. I like that. But obviously spot was $17. So the premium was about $3. Would that be correct, Mudswat? Mike Miller says, all the newbie stackers will be selling in a few months, so I'll start buying again then, says Mike. Just don't take my maples. I'm sure, what's it, Yankees working on a musket or something like that at the moment. So, yeah, you could just be buying up his stash of gold maples there. Mudswat says, anyone want to buy them for $35 each? Jeez, Mudswat. I think that's higher than majority of the LCSs. Yeah, I'm buying it for my kids, so it will sit for a long time. The Canadian Maple Leafs are all sold out. Try random dates. Lost for words. If you're looking at getting them rather than buying the latest year, you might get a random date at a much lower premium. They tend to be the best value coins. If you look at anything, whether it's gold sovereigns or American gold eagles, the Canadian Maple Leafs, if you do a random date, that's pretty much your best value. Yeah, super chats. Yeah, I don't do super chats, but I appreciate it there. Lost for words. Oh, Starbuck Jeff. Just put my PayPal information up there. Thank you very much for that, Starbuck JeffNcoins. Archaeology Mikey 007 says, I bought a 1915 half crown from Great Britain silver coin with toning in XF condition for $10. That's great. I think you did exceptionally well there, Mikey. The reason being is all the pre-1920 British silver coins were all sterling silver, so that's 92.5%. So and that's all the 1920 coins, all the pre-1920 coins. So anything you have pre-1920, they were all 92.5% silver. And after 1920, the majority of them were 50% silver. But good find. At $10, I think you've done well there. Let's have a look, Starbuck Jeff. I really do appreciate it. It says Jamie LaCarrie. You can donate PayPal and Silver Limey. Thank you very much for that. David Carlisle, how are you? We can see actually looks like Bitcoin's trying to retest again. We'll go on the 1 hour. Yep. You can see it there. It's got support. It's broken through. It's actually dropped down to about 6,050. It's pushed up initially, rejection. You can see that wick straight to resistance, rejected straight away back down. And then the next 1 hour candle, and there's a bit of a wick, pull it back down, but it's bounced up. Is it going to get rejected again? We'll have to wait and see. Is it going to be rejected? If it is going to be rejected, then most likely we're going to see a decline here. So let's wait and see what happens there. 6274 is the current price for Bitcoin. I buy all silver. Sorry, I buy all silver. Most of the coin stores and pawn shops sell them at spot or best deal, unless the silver coin is a key date. Sounds great. Archaeology Mikey 007. Lots for words says, okay, I'm thinking since the coins aren't being made right now, I was thinking maybe the 2020 coins would be worth more money down the road if you don't produce more of them this year. Look, the base metal loss for coins. If you're buying coins to collect, they might have some degree of numismatic value. If you're just buying just for the weight, then your best option there is to look at maximizing the potential for value for money. So you're better off maybe looking at a random date would be your best value, personally. Collector's issues could be. If you're looking for numismatic. Look how Bitcoin is going up and going down like mad. Absolutely, it's because the market doesn't know what to do, Mudswat. I've looked at, there's a lot of the big whales aren't even buying at the moment. We've just had 2 big sells today, and it hasn't really brought the price down much either, which is very interesting. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. That's lots of words. No problem. Just in my opinion, if you're looking for either weight, you're better off going for a random date. Weight, random date. Nice rhyme. If you're looking for weight, go for the random date. But if you're looking for something really special, yes, there is going to be a premium, but look, it's up to you. It's your money. They're lost for words. It's entirely your decision there. It's looking like it's Trying to break out. Oh, there we go. There's a bit of rejection there. That's the last candle there. We still got 55 minutes. So that's a new, nice, fresh candle. Straight up, rejected at that line. Once we start getting over this cold, I'm going to try buy in. I'm holding off. I totally agree with you, the Mudswat. I think I've already given my idea in relation to where I'd like to be. If I was buying right now, there's my entry points in between here, 4,000 and 5,000. I'm going to try and see, well, if it does come down this low, we could get a touch about 4.5. If it breaks down below than that, money quids in, as they say. Guys, that's all the time I have for you at the moment. Really appreciate you all, guys. Thank you very much for joining me on the stream. Thank you for watching. See you all next time. Really appreciate it. Again, thank you for taking the time out. I know it's on a Saturday. I'm sure that everyone's going to be with their families during this time, and I fully understand that. Again, thank you, Yankee Stacking. We'll do the usual. Mark B's just dropped in, man. Hi and bye to you, my friend Mark. We've got Mudswat. Really appreciate you. Thanks very much. Jimmy LaCarrie says, thanks, be safe. Thanks, be well, and be safe. Lost for words. Says, thank you as well. We got Mike Miller. Says, take care. We've got Yankee Stacking saying later Limey. We got Archaeology Mikey 007. Silver Stanger, always a pleasure. Starbuck JeffNcoins. David Carlisle dropped in as well, which was cool. And going through, let's see, who haven't I given a shout out to yet? Vertical Stacker. And we'll look for one more. And we'll see if there is anyone. No, Jimmy LaCarrie, I've already out. Mike Miller, I'd called out. Scrapping, hoarding, tinkering fun. That's me, guys. Thanks very much, and I'll see you all on the next one. And don't forget to check out my channel if you've pretty much stayed till the end, of course. All good content there. I've been adding videos on now for over a year now. We've got a good mix of bullion, proof, gold, silver, charts, numismatic collectors, general chat. Guys, thanks very much. And I'll see you all in the next one.